Donald Trump wants to portray himself as Batman or something, saving America from all of the crime that's barely happening in the areas that he's going into. But that's not how it's working. A lot is happening. And it's very, very expensive, this propaganda that he's doing. In fact, the National Guard might well run out of money because of Trump's repeated deployments. But don't worry, I'm sure the National Guard wouldn't ever be needed for one of the things they're actually there for, like, helping clean up and protect people after natural disasters and stuff like that. Of course, bear in mind, FEMA's not going to exist, and the National Guard won't have any money. So God help you or your community if there's ever an actual problem that happens where you live. But yeah, no, they're just doing constant deployments. So they're gonna burn through the readiness of those people. They're gonna spend up all of their money. That's what they're doing, okay? Some states apparently could face significant financial liabilities that would directly impact readiness, they say, to keep the Guard trained, equipped, and ready to respond. And it's not like we couldn't give them the money. ICE has unlimited money at this point. Of course, they're the best part of the government, as we all now know. And the thing about it is, deploying the troops all over, it isn't just an issue of wasted money, that waste, fraud, and abuse they used to talk so much about in the Trump administration. It's also dangerous having all of this stuff around. In fact, a 14-ton mine-resistant armored vehicle ran into an SUV on Capitol Hill recently. Because those 14-ton mine-resistant armored vehicles are now, for some reason, in DC. And they need to be. There's a lot of mines in DC. I don't know if most people know that. It's one of the things that our capital is known for. But yeah, and so they're dispatching all of these people. And what do they find? They're getting them for like disorderly conduct and stuff. They're hauling people in, doing like these hype videos on Twitter of like, oh, a guy was publicly urinating or whatever. Thank God the Marines are in town, and implying to us that this is necessary. Well, there are countless costs to doing this military occupation of America. For instance, you had JD Vance. He was recently talking about how you have to have everywhere, these train stations, all that. You have to have National Guard, you have to have the Marines, you have to have an F-22 flying over all the time because it's homeless people. And there's nothing rich people are scared of more than homeless people. But it turns out actually one DC resident posted a video that she was sexually harassed outside Union Station, not by the unhoused actually, but by a drug enforcement agent. You dispatch these people largely, I would assume, against their will. I don't think most of these people want to occupy and beat down into submission their own citizens, but some of them feel like, well, I'm now told I'm Batman. I can do whatever the hell I want. I mean, what do we think? If they had taped the drug enforcement agent, JR, and it was publicly revealed, what do you think? Trump would like lock the person up for what they did or something? Does anybody think that when the brutality happens, now by the way, more and more of them are gonna be carrying guns, including, there's a great breakdown, we didn't include it here, but one of the pistols that's like notorious for self-firing, it's one of the pistols that a lot of the troops, the National Guard, are gonna be holding. People are gonna end up getting shot. That's inevitably where this goes. Does anybody think that they're going to prison? No, they're not going to prison. They're gonna be brought to the White House, and they're gonna have medals strung around their necks. And Fox News is gonna cheer it, and Jesse Waters is gonna talk about how men are back in charge, gunning down civilians or whatever. And JR, I'm like trying to make the boldest predictions I can, hoping against hope that at some point one of them won't come true. What do you think?
Well, they're not even really predictions, John. Like, this is what this guy predicted he wanted to continue to do. It's what he's always talked about. It's why it was ridiculous to not listen to him. Or when people acknowledged it, to not then be called having Trump derangement syndrome for listening to what the guy said he wanted to do. Like, what else did you guys expect him to do? It's what he said he was gonna do. How else does that work? So yeah, as they got folks now with guns on their hips and long rifles walking through the streets. I had that video of that mine-resistant tank truck thing driving through this lady's SUV and smashing it in half. So, because if you're drinking and driving, look out for the tank behind you. It just might pull you over and then have you do a breathalyzer test in the middle of the streets. None of it makes any sense. The whole purpose here is to continue in this push for hate. They've garnered enough attention around their supporters that said, don't you hate America? Because the leader of this party definitely hates America. He's a traitor to the country. Anybody that he sees that says no, he's gonna come after them. And as I see what's upcoming, they said they're gonna make sure that they start vetting the people that they're putting in the streets even further, because he definitely needs his brown shirts to have the loyalty that they have, in case one or two of them might pop up and say, you know what, I had this vow to the United States Constitution, not to the king, and he's changing that. That's why he told the Proud Boys and these other idiots to stand by. He said, wait, I need you in the streets, and I'm taking all of people's money. By the way, you know, yes, how your prices have gone up on everything, how your cars have gone up, your groceries have gone up, your gas has gone up, your cost of living has gone up, your energy bills, all that has gone up. That's going to them patrolling you and turning your city and your state into a military state. So if you think you're safe because you're a white person, you're gonna be mistaken, because in case you walk, you might trip, and that's a new crime.
Yeah, I'm gonna end on this. A lot of people, I think, have wondered since last year, why is it that a couple of conservatives tried to take out Trump last year? Maybe they were a couple of the conservatives who were serious when they said they were worried about tyranny or something. Obviously it's tragic, don't do it or whatever, but like maybe that's the answer to the riddle. Maybe a couple of these conservatives were like, I don't know, it kind of looks like he wants to be a fascist dictator, and maybe they just lived their values. I don't know.